Hello, I'm here today with Jack Trainor, who joined us back in 2018 as a finance assistant on an apprenticeship scheme. And I'm delighted to say that we're also here with Jack's dad. We're going to talk this morning a bit about your path that led you here to Ipsos. So over to you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jack. Started in 2018 as a finance assistant studying SEMA. And then this is my dad, Paul.
I'm Jack's dad. I'm an insurance broker. I work for a company called James Hallam, and I've done that for all of my working life, pretty much, different companies, but yeah.
Great. So Jack, you decided to go down the route of an apprenticeship rather than going to university. Was there anything in particular that you thought that was the better route for you? Was there any particular moment or reason?
Yeah, I think when you're sort of 17 and schools are pushing you to apply for uni, I sort of knew that it wasn't for me. But also with the role that I do in finance, I knew that once you go to uni and then you finish, you still have to go and then sit the exams. So I think for a career like accounting, in my head, it just made more sense to get out there, get all the experience as well, and then, go through that way. Because I know you do get exemptions, but in my eyes, I was like, I may as well just start now and just get through them.
And Paul, what did you think when Jack decided that he didn't want to go to university, wanted to go out to work?
Yeah, I mean, I was hugely supportive. We went round to universities. We did the usual bit with the schools, talking to you about sort of university options, etc. And when we'd gone around them, obviously we had some time to talk through what Jack actually wanted to do and what he wanted to study. Given it was finance, it just made a lot of sense to get out into the workplace as soon as you could, given I think most of the courses we looked at, as Jack said, involved you still having to do your professional exams after you've done a degree course as well. So yeah, and I was quite a big fan of youngsters, or I am a big fan of youngsters getting out into the workplace and networking.
Yeah. And
I feel like the idea of it back then wasn't, we didn't really know it was a thing, but we had a family friend who was, he got a degree apprenticeship, and we were like, that's kind of sounds like the perfect option for me and my character and what I want to do. But it was just, we couldn't see that it existed, really. And
what A-levels did you do?
Yeah, it was really spread out. So I did biology, history, and then maths. It was like the classic, because I mean, you pick them when you're still doing GCSE, so I was 16. And I kind of saw it like, pick what I'm good at, but then just cover all bases in case I wanted to go into like marine biology or something. I was like, just in case I need that. And I ended up regretting that decision so much, but it is what it is.
That was one of my favourite A-levels.
Biology?
Yeah.
God, I hated it, honestly. Yeah.
And how did you know that finance was the right route for you?
I was good at maths, to a decent level, and when you do those quizzes online, see what careers for me, it just kept on popping up, and then it was just lucky that I fell into management accounting, because I feel like that in particular really fits my character.
Okay.
I came here for work experience the year before, and I was sort of seeing the behind the scenes of finance. And I remember just thinking, I can really see myself doing that. So yeah, a mix of work experience and then also quizzes.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
And how did you balance working full-time alongside studying?
Yeah, I think it sounds quite nice when you say it, like you have a day off every week to be able to study, but most of the time you are in college. So it really does boil over into like your evenings and weekends. And in all honesty, and I'm so happy with my apprenticeship, but it was a huge commitment at the time, and it was quite antisocial towards exam days, particularly because I really wanted to pass them. So I'd put a lot of time down to them. But yeah, it definitely makes it more manageable having that extra day to do the college. Because then you can use your weekend then to really go into it. Yeah, but I mean, with the experience that you're getting while you're studying, it's so worth it just having to put in a little bit extra time. Yeah, so it was manageable. It was manageable. Very tired for the first couple of years. Yeah, but no, it was manageable.
And how have you seen Jack change over the time that he's been studying and working?
Yeah, it's been amazing actually. I mean, Jack just always. I know, obviously I'm very proud of him, but he's always been a hard worker, and he worked very hard at his studies for his GCSEs and with his A levels as well. But with the balance between work and having to study as well at the same time. It's a huge, it's just a huge drain on your time, and it was really pleasing to watch him grasp it and to find the time, but also the discipline to do it as well. I will say, in a nice way, we had the COVID years when Jack was in his early days of study. And so I had a unique opportunity to watch him grow, because the two of us shared an office together, and we were office buddies for a good while. And to listen to his confidence growing, to listen to him on the Teams calls, and to think, wow, that's what my son sounds like at work. It's quite it's quite nice.
He's getting away with it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take you back a little bit. So when you're in school, you're doing your A levels, schools are very geared to supporting students to get to university. And where were they on their viewpoint on apprenticeships?
Particularly back in 2018, because it wasn't really a thing. I mean, we'd literally heard of one person who had done it before. It definitely wasn't pushed, and even it was slightly discouraged, because we were really pushed towards get the uni application out. Like, this is what you need to do. Like, even if I didn't really want to go to uni, they were like, you need to do it though, like, just to apply. Which, it's obviously good, because if I had changed my mind and had want to go to uni, that would have been a good thing to have. But no, there wasn't really anything on apprenticeships, or it was more like a throwaway comment. I think now it is a lot more popular, but it still needs to find its way into particularly like sixth forms as a viable option.
Okay. And what advice would you give to students who are currently studying for A levels or even GCSEs about thinking about doing apprenticeship?
Yeah, just do it. I think the best way was the way I did it, where I came in for a work experience, because you get given a week in year 12 at most schools to go and try a company. So I think going there, meeting you guys, speaking with you, and then that almost gives you like a behind the scenes view on where you could be and where you could progress. But I think for before they start an apprenticeship, I'd say just apply, and apply to loads of places, just do it. And then advice for when you're actually doing it is, because it is a long time. I mean, I've been here now nearly 7 years. The apprenticeship took 5 odd years. You knew at the time, even though it's such a long time, you knew why you wanted to do it when you started. So just keep on going, because it does feel like a really long time. I mean, I started in 2018. I was still doing exams up until last year. So it's just
keep
on going, and just try and just keep focused. Remember why you were doing it at first.
And Paul, what advice would you give to parents who have a child who's considering doing an apprenticeship?
I will say, look, it might not be for everybody, because you are getting out into the workplace early, and there is potentially people mature at different stages as well, and so university, I have no doubt is the right place for some people, depending upon what they want to do or what level they are in their maturity and what they can benefit from within that. Jack, we are fortunate, and I'm proud to say he has always been quite mature, and so I think you've got to be realistic with your child and to understand what how they're going to benefit or otherwise from that. I'd also do your research because it's a big commitment for a business to offer an apprenticeship, and it has to be really structured, and therefore you've got to make sure that the business that they're going into is one that has actually a really considered program as well. So I think a mixture of just know your child and do your research. But thankfully, as Jack said, there do seem to be more opportunities for apprenticeships out there. So I think the business community is realising the benefits of getting youngsters and moulding them over those years.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.